So this is the fit. I love it. It's actually my favorite Halloween costume ever. Stop. If my hair was like wet, you know those photo shoots where people make like wavy wet hair? If my hair was wet, it would be so nice. Like, you know? Oh, fuck! I love this highlighter so much. Like, are we serious? Are we serious? Do you not see how pretty this highlighter is? Like, I know it is glitter and I don't love glitter. I don't love sparse, is that the word? Glitter that is apart. But this, even though it's glitter, it's just, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty! And if you didn't know what highlighter I used, I actually used Flower Nose highlighter. Duh, of course, because I am on their PR list. I'm gonna show you guys how it looks. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? Like, I didn't swatch it for you guys the last time, but this is just gorge. If you ever want to buy from their brand, you know what code to use because that's gonna support me and the brand. Now, I want to talk about life updates because this has very much to do with today's topic. This is going to be an example of how bridge of incidents play out because holy shit, everything is just coming together and I am shocked. I'm trying to find evidence of what I wrote down like way back. And I know this is so random, but look, this is me as a baby with my first dog. Isn't it so cute? Okay, so the only evidence that I was able to find, because I didn't mark this down at all, honestly, was that I would be learning a little bit of Japanese because I wanted to. I also wrote down I'm going to casino once because I've never been. When was this? It was between May and June 2023. Adding a little bit of context, I actually don't remember that I wrote down that I would be going to the casino back in June 2023. So going back to the past, before I graduated, I actually have a few goals that I really wanted to happen. Basically, I kept talking about them and I also wrote a list down. Obviously, goals kind of change a little bit as we get to know ourselves better, but my goals kind of remained more or less the same. These are the stuff that I actually discussed with people. So with my mom, I told her that if I graduate and if I don't find any jobs, then should I just go to Japan and go for school there? Because I just wanted to live in Japan. Now that was the original idea. Number 2, having perfect friends. Obviously, I have them, and I also wanted to have perfect friends to travel around with. Number 3, I wanted to own properties around the world so I could take vacations and stay there whenever I want to. Also, obviously, having properties is a good investment because you can rent it out to get money, passive income. No, I'm not at that stage yet. Number 4, a year before I graduated, I started to change my mindset about money, and so I wanted to manifest money. And that's why I became more aware of the ideas of lottery and casino, because you're not working for money at all when you're doing those things. These two things are completely dependent on you and your assumptions to define the probability of winning. Now, story time. This is fucking mind tripping because I didn't even realize those were bridge of incidents. You know, when you're a student, you don't know what's gonna fucking happen after you graduate. It's like misty. You just don't know. Yes, you can assume and manifest, right? But knowing the direction and knowing what you want is important to manifest. And so 2 years ago, I only had a vague idea that I just probably want to live in Japan somehow. Then as I update my desires, I'm like, okay, I just want to be financially independent and do whatever I want. That's like the main theme. As an adult, I probably visited Japan like 3 to 4 times, and somehow as we continue to arrange flights from the US back home and home to US, because I was an international student, I started to do transits in Japan, which is most likely actually 100% manifested because for 10 years I studied abroad, right? For maybe 6 years, I was not doing transits in Japan. It was until I started traveling to Japan and I liked the place, then it started happening. Moving on, it was like June 2023 actually, I think, that I started to travel with friends. Let's call this friend Kat. So me and Kat, we traveled to Japan together. I organized the entire trip, like everything was planned out by me. I didn't mind it. It was probably for visualizing. That was the first time that I've ever been to Japan with a friend. Other times were with family. Another detail, so in 2020 or 2021, I forgot, a relative started spawning in my reality more. My impression was I have never met this person in my life, but apparently I did once or twice when I was little. So she spawned in my reality, and after I graduated, she kept talking about Japan, Japan, Japan. She kept going on Japan trips. Oh, and also I want to mention that I actually have been non-seriously learning Japanese, like here and there, before what's currently happening is happening. Your girl was practicing reading Japanese with sluts.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
Exactly, she is a true Floptropican. That was all the birds before land before us arriving at this moment, where it's basically 99% decided that I will be living in Japan for 3 months with my friend who is not cat. Let's call this friend Otter. This is only the surface, okay? There's more to the story, and I'm gonna continue on. I just finished eating. So actually, about 2 weeks before this whole thing was decided, I had this limiting belief of how it's hard for friends to travel with me because of differences in schedule, and people I know are basically all international, so they are living abroad. That was one limiting belief. Second event that was happening around that time was, remember I made a video on tarot? I actually asked the reader something. I asked her, should I move to Japan or should I move to another place? Without knowing that I would actually be moving there for 3 months. It was just an idea, like I was not thinking that it would happen so soon. Because nobody reached out to me, I didn't make any plans, I just thought, you know what, I'll just ask this question because I want some fun reading. The reading basically told me to follow my heart instead of thinking super logical, so I can have more clarity in this decision. So that was the second thing that I wanted to mention for this plot. The third thing that was happening was I was hesitant about change. I knew I was gonna move somehow, but I was kind of afraid of how much change I have to adapt to, because you know, this is literally like the first year that I'm actually staying somewhere stationary and not moving around. So I don't know if I should let that go and move on and, you know, travel around, or should I just stay stationary for a while more. Number 4, something so-called negative happened. Honestly, I do not view it as negative at all, but maybe to the other party it is. I was basically reevaluating my circle, and that's all I'm gonna say. But that so-called little situation over there was enough to motivate me to erase those limiting beliefs and just manifest what I want, because you know, those limits are illusions. And so as I let go of something old and limiting, immediately, okay, the friend that I wanted to see reached out to me. Like, I literally did not initiate this meetup because I wanted to respect her schedule, but she reached out to me saying, hey, do you want to hang out? Which led to the conversation of discussing about Japan and moving there for 3 months. The reason why I mentioned that something so-called negative happened was because that was a part of the bridge of incidents. In my honest opinion now, like as the version I am now, I just cannot ever view a so-called negative situation as pure negative anymore. If something negative spawned in your reality and you're unable to understand why, it could very much be the event that motivates you to have change in yourself, which causes a bigger change in your reality. Because that situation woke me the fuck up. It made me think, like, if I am in my 30s and I still don't have what I want, no, like I never want that reality to come true. And to clarify also, it's not like I don't have what I want. I have what I want constantly. It's just like in my life, I would want to experience so many realities. That's why I don't want to sit and wait for things to happen, and I have to be the change constantly. So I have to step up and think better. Even if, let's say, people's schedules were not matching up with mine, who says that the next day their schedules won't match up with mine? Sometimes for real, like you have to see what you dislike to actually remember what you want and why you want something in the first place. Now, going back to why everything is coming together to form a full picture, I said I wanted perfect friends, which manifested. I wanted to travel between different countries and own properties. That actually is in progress. I will show what I said to Otter over here, because the truth is I have to get to know the place first before actually knowing whether I want to live there and own properties there. So this is another bridge of incidents. The Japan thing, yeah, manifested. And fun fact, I actually have never been to Japan in spring. I have seen cherry blossoms in the UK because I was studying there. We had like a whole cherry blossom tree in the school area, but I've always wanted to see cherry blossoms in spring in Japan. So this is literally like perfect. And there is more, okay? So remember, I went to Japan with Kat back then, and I thought to myself, because we visited a garden, I thought to myself as I was sitting in the cafe next to the garden, I was like, oh, I kind of want to live here. I want to live in an apartment near a Japanese garden. Boom! We found an apartment that's literally beside a garden in Japan. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because literally I visualized it. You know, I was there in the scene, I visualized it, I was like, okay, I want this. And now I have it. Hello? Guys, I gotta share my Florida apartment story as well. Like, that was another story. And that also had a lot of bridge of incidents stuff happening that caused me to finally be able to secure that apartment. If you allow it, everything can happen perfectly and it becomes a full pretty picture for you to live in. Wasn't this story time so fucking enjoyable? Because like it's a meaty plot. It has details. It's like a spider web. Like everything is somehow interconnected together. But also remember though, do not carry the waiting mentality. Stay fulfilled in the now. So no matter what reality, what 3D you are in, you are still fulfilled. And I'm still obsessed with this highlight because holy shit, it's just gorgeous. Do you guys remember 2 weeks ago I was like, I wanted this, the butterfly filter intro for the video? I said I wanted this. Like come on now. I said that, can this be in real life? Oh, and now it's in real life. And now it's in real life. Look at this. Oh, I love it. I know, it's goodbye time now. I will see you guys again next week, but important information, if you're interested in coaching, you know where to find me. I also have other offers available. If you want extra content, I actually have more details on Patreon about this bridge of incidents thing, plus other audios, affirmations, like tons of content over there on Patreon and also on YouTube membership. YouTube membership is a little later on the upload. Patreon has 2 tiers, and if you join either the YouTube membership or Patreon for the $15 tier, you get $10 off coaching. If you want to submit a success story, this is the account to go to. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more diamonds can join our family. And don't be shy. If you want to leave a comment down below, go ahead so we can chat and be friends. And if you loved this video, there is a super thanks button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Wait, I just remembered that like before this whole thing happened, I actually sat on my sofa and it felt like I was sitting on the plane. I wasn't even trying to visualize either. It was just like a natural feeling. That was crazy.